Hi guys, my name is Hannah Potter and the topic that I decided to research is the transition from elementary to middle school. Hope you enjoy my presentation. I chose this topic because of my career plans. I'm hoping to become an elementary school teacher and plan to teach 4th or 5th grade. Because 5th grade is normally the last grade in elementary school before children enter into middle school, I thought this would be a good topic for me to learn about. I was unaware that this was even a topic that I studied, but now that I've learned what I have, I think it's information that parents, teachers, and just people in society should know. I came across a variety of different sources when searching for valid information regarding this topic. I ended up using a few research articles that examined several different research studies regarding the matter. I also came across a few different scientific writings in which they performed studies themselves and reflected on the research they found. The sources that I came across the most were organizations. There were quite a few different organizations with articles about this topic. Although they were organizations, they provided valid evidence to their arguments and were not biased in any way. Surprisingly, none of the sources that I used seem to have any bias one way or another. Transitioning from elementary school to middle school is full of changes for adolescents. To start, there are several differences in an elementary school versus a middle school. Middle schools are a lot bigger than elementary schools. There are more classrooms as well as more students in each classroom. In elementary school, children only have one teacher. When they move to middle school, they have up to 5 teachers, having a different one for every subject. This results in there being less personal relationships between the teachers and the students. The students also have more homework and more to study for in middle school than they had in elementary school. Studies have found that the standards teachers have for the students increase during middle school versus elementary school, and the teachers begin to grade harder and offer less support to the students. During middle school, teachers demand a greater control over the students, which does not allow the students to become independent or make decisions on their own. Research shows that students spend more time worrying about Research shows that teachers spend more time worrying about the students' behavior and giving rules than actually teaching. Although these changes may seem minor, it is quite the adjustment for adolescents. All of these factors have been said to contribute to a decline in motivation and interest in school. These changes cause students to value school less than they did in elementary school. On top of all the differences that are seen in the different schools, during this time, adolescents are going through several developmental changes. They begin to change socially, emotionally, as well as physically. For a lot of adolescents, puberty begins at the start of middle school, so their hormones are all over the place. Boys and girls are both said to become more aggressive towards one another during this time. The physical changes cause children to become insecure as well, and they fight to fit in. One study showed a connection between the friendships adolescents had with their peers and their success in school. The study concluded that adolescents' friendships greatly influenced how well they did with their education. Due to all these changes, studies show that adolescents start to pull away from their families. Because of this, the transition is said to not only be hard on the students, but the parents of the students as well. The parents feel distant from their child's teachers and feel as if they have less control over their schooling, so they become overly controlling in other areas at home. This causes children to pull away even more. Anxiety is also at an all-time high for adolescents entering middle school. They have anxieties about the relationships they have to build with new peers and teachers, and just about having to attend a new school in general. Overall, the transition causes anxiety, stresses, and fear in children who already are going through enough changes in themselves during this time. A combination of all of this contributes to students becoming unsuccessful in school. Studies that were conducted on students who attended school in New York show that 54% of students' grades dropped when they entered into middle school. Another study showed that an unsuccessful transition connected to dropouts in high school later in life. Motivation in regards to school has also been shown to decrease during this time, and that is statistically recorded through students' attendance in class as well as their grades. As you can see, this is not a topic that can be ignored or forgotten about when dealing with adolescent children. Studies show statistics that prove how big of an impact this transition has on an adolescent. An unsuccessful transition can have an everlasting effect on their academics. Possible solutions that a few of the articles talk about are having a transition program for students. The transition program would focus on helping students understand what middle school is like and the differences they are likely to see. It would also teach children what they should anticipate from their teachers. Everything I read stated that a successful transition program would not forget to teach children how to deal with social changes, as that is an important factor. They also talk about how there are multiple transition programs that present an orientation and end there. In order for it to truly help the students, it must be an ongoing program that begins when children are in 5th grade and end when they are done with their first year in middle school. Another solution was to have a transitional program for the parents, so that parents know what to expect as well. It would teach parents how to handle different problems that their children may face. Other researchers argue that it is a really bad idea to have children attend a school in between elementary and high school, and that the best solution would be to take away middle school entirely, and to just have children attend the same school starting in kindergarten and lasting until they transition into high school. Some researchers argue this because of research they have conducted. Statistics have proved that children who attend a K through 8th versus middle school are better in core areas of school such as math and English. Statistics also show that children who did not attend a middle school were less likely to drop out of high school. One study showed that children who attended middle school over a K through 8th were 18% more likely to drop out. Although these are not all of the references that I use, here are a few of them so that you can go ahead and look into more detail if you're interested.